Hi guys, how's it going? Oh, I missed you so much. I've been, you know, kind of MIA, I guess. I was over in Seattle for a couple weeks and been home for, I don't know, I guess about a week and got some stuff done that I committed to doing as soon as I got back. And anyway, so now I'm working on some journals that I started quite a while ago. Um, they're these larger hardcover. These are these are just some books that came in a box of books that I bought, and they were all the same title. And they were newer books, but I just rather than sending them to the thrift store, I thought, well, I'll try to because the title wasn't anything that I was interested in, but I didn't know if anybody else would be either. But anyway, I don't know why all of those books were in this box, but so I guess the bottom line is that I gutted them and I just saved the covers, and all I did was just paint them with some acrylic paint, and then I did just a real simple um I guess you could call it collage, but I get yeah, it's collaging, I suppose, on the front and the back of each one with just some book pages and things like that. And then I sprayed them with a clear coat. Okay, so that's really all I've done. And then on the inside, I just did kind of a nice piece of scrapbook paper on the front and back just to kind of cover it all up. And then on the spine, I used a couple layers of cheesecloth and some gauze bandage stuff that I like to use in my journals. So I've got all the signatures all bound in on each one. There's 9 altogether. Um, and then I picked out, oh my gosh, I went through my drawers of, hold on, I went through my a couple drawers of things that I like to use to insert into journals. And so I made some piles of stuff to put in each one. So this is the pile for one journal. Okay, so it's quite a lot of stuff. Some of those little tags that I've been working on, these little guys, and some ephemera, some book pages and whatnot. Anyway, so I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna try to put all of this stuff in the journals or if I'm just gonna have them as a thing on the side of, like that would go with each one. So if you guys, if anybody cares to comment, let me know what you prefer. Like when you buy a journal, do you like to have everything kind of inserted in the pockets and paper clipped in and that kind of thing? Or do you like to do that kind of thing yourself and have it more as like a bundle alongside the more naked journal? I'm just kind of curious to know what you guys, prefer. Um, Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I might just do some of it in the journal and then some on the side or whatever. I don't know. But I wanted to make, oh, it's always hard to decide how you want to do a closure. And I always do some kind of closure on my journals because I just think, that's what I like to do. But I think that for junk journals, it's kind of necessary because they do have a tendency to get kind of chunky, and people like to store things in them that they're going to use later, and they don't want that stuff just falling out. So anyway, I've really been liking doing the little, plate that goes on the front, whatever, I guess it's a plate, the little, kind of layered piece on the front that's not really attached. I did that on the smaller hardcover journals that I just did. Well, my most recent journals. It's been a while now, but anyway, with the elastic, so basically what I mean is like a hitch post and then have a piece of elastic attached that wraps around the back of the journal and then just hooks onto that little hitch post on the front. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think that's what I'm going to do with these. So I have to make 9 of them. I've started I started them, and I thought it might be kind of fun for you guys to just kind of see how I constructed them, and how I plan to kind of finish them up. I also went through all my old like cabinet cards and old vintage photographs and things like that. Um, so I picked out some that I'd like to use on the covers of these. Now, some of these are actually postcards. They're like old postcards. Um, but it's still a valid image. It's just, it's not like a portrait that someone had done. This is a postcard. Um, but some of them are actually cabinet cards. Um, and these are the original. So these are going to be on the covers on this little piece. Okay. So I'm trying to decide how I want those to be situated. And I am going to do a hitch post on each one. So I've got to kind of leave a little space right there. But anyway, so that's kind of where I'm headed. And I want to make them pretty and make them look nice, but I don't want to make them too busy. Anyway, so the first thing I decided is I'm just going to use a piece of ledger paper to, and these are kind of like a medium weight chipboard, and I used the medium weight chipboard because I'd like to be able to stitch through those with my sewing machine, so I didn't use like a heavy um, chipboard. Anyway, so here's what I'm doing. So I've got these cut down to, about an inch bigger than the chipboard piece, and I know that that's the size that I'd like this to be. Okay, I want it to really kind of cover, but I don't want it to cover the whole front, right? Anywho, you guys get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm laying down. So I've been so frustrated with glue lately. I've had a couple people ask me, what kind of glue do you use, for this or that or whatever, and it's just really hard to say. So if if anybody would like to see uh what does Jessica use glue for, what kind of glue does she use for different things, let me know, and leave that in the comments also, and I will see if it's actually something that you guys would, lots of people would like to see. Anyway, so this is some glue sticks that I bought when I was in Seattle. I finally got to go to Blick Art and in one of their stores and look around. And man, I wound up with some paper, I'll tell you. So that's another thing. If you guys would like to see the papers, I think I'm actually going to just do it. But I picked up a lot of paper when I was at Blick Art. I like to buy paper in person more than online. I got some pastel paper and some watercolor paper and some handmade papers and that kind of stuff. So anyway, but I don't like these glue sticks. And I bought a dozen of them, and I just don't like them. They're really like soft and gooey, like, I don't know. You can see what I mean. Like they're real soft and gooey, and I don't know. I prefer a little bit firmer glue stick, which is why I like um the Elmer's, what is it? The Elmer's permanent glue sticks. Anyway, so this is the side that I want showing. So I turned it upside down, and then I'm just going to kind of cut these corners off and leave, I would say, about a quarter of an inch between the corner and where I cut. Okay, because that's where I want it to like fold over. You guys have done this before. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, so glued that down using a glue stick, partly because I'm trying to use up those glue sticks now. And then I'm just using the edge of the chipboard to sort of, put in my creases where I'm going to fold this over. And then I'm going to switch to the art glitter glue. to glue these edges down. So I make sure I get glue right up to the edge there so that it glues, I'm putting it, I would say maybe 1/8 of an inch from the chipboard there. I just want to make sure that it actually glues right down along that edge. Okay. And then, just a little bit, need a ton. And then I always use a baby wipe to smooth out things that I'm gluing because it just keeps things clean, in my opinion. So I don't wind up with glue everywhere and all over my hands. And yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many things that I want to do. And sometimes it just gets to where, I don't know, like, oh, I just don't know. I want to do so many things in my life with my creativity, and sometimes it's just hard to. I'm not saying I'm burnout. I'm not burnout. I'm just there's just all kinds of things I want to do and that I want to share with you guys, like the crocheting. I kind of flopped out on that, and maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know, but I haven't put out the videos that I want to do with the crocheting, and I think it's more of just a time thing for me at this point. But I've also decided that I want to start trying to do some watercolor and explore kind of that media also. Any media. Anyway, okay, so fold those over, glue them down, and then I just want to add something to cover up the rest of the chipboard. See, like I just put a piece of paper on the backs of these. This one I used book page, so let's find something. Haha, I happen to have a piece that'll cover that up. So it doesn't have to, fit that perfect. I'm just trying to cover that chipboard up. That's all. And I think what I'm going to do is add some kind of pocket on the back side of this thing because I just think that's kind of cool. And it's a good place for people to store their little tags and things like that. Maybe store photos in there or whatever. Okay, so glued that on. Whoops, gotta make sure it's right side up. Okay, and then I just want to give it some kind of little bit of a background. And that, like on this one, I just did a piece of book page and then some marbled paper and a couple on this one. I just did, some marbled paper, some book page, and then some other kind of, funky old paper that I don't even know where it came from. So I don't want to use this one because it's pretty much the same color as that. So I want to find maybe a piece of book page that is a different color. See, like that one's a lot brighter. So I'm just gonna glue that down. Now I'm back to the glue stick because the glue stick I can really smooth it out. And I feel like it kind of seals around the edges of my paper easier than using the art glitter glue for doing collage. I always use glue sticks when I'm collaging anything. Okay, so just a little piece of book paper there, book page. And then I want to add, these are all pieces of marbled paper. These are end papers from different ledgers. And I really want to try to use these. So let's use, well, Might as well use this one. Wait, do I have a smaller piece of this one? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this I'm going to actually pair. Let's see. Get a little bit. There we go. Of course, I save all these little scraps. Wait, a little tiny bit narrower. I know this is, there we go. And this, I'm going to, since this is kind of like thicker paper, it's a little bit heavier, I don't want to rely on the glue stick to hold this down. And also, I don't mind if it lifts up just a tiny bit on the edges. So that's why I'm using the art glitter glue. Okay. Maybe I don't have to use that, or maybe I don't have to do that glue video after all. I can just kind of do it as we go. Okay. So that's that's all I need on there. And then I thought would be nice to have just a very, very, very simple little piece of like lace or fabric or something like that on these. I don't want to go crazy with it, but I'm loving these eyelet trims that I got from Carla, and they're just so pretty. These old vintage eyelet trims. Um, so I'm just going to glue a piece of it right along that edge, and that's all I'm going to do. Less is more, right? And I'm going to just use the art glitter glue to glue this down. Now, I did buy some art glitter fabric glue, which I really like, but I don't happen to have it right here on my desk. So I'm using this. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do really on the front. And then I'm just going to decide which one of these little ladies I want to use on here and where she's going to get positioned. Kind of like her, but yeah, that one's a little bit better. Okay. So as far as attaching this on here, this is the other kind of issue, right? Do I want to just glue it on there, or do I want to maybe give it some other kind of a border, or what? Um, what I think I might do, might be kind of cool to machine stitch around the edges of that, or just do, you guys tell me all the time that you like to hear my thought processes, so here we go. Um, I think it might be kind of cool to just do some eyelets. Trying to get this fabric stuck in my crocodile. Just a minute. I got to get that out of there because I like to be able to see through the hole. Okay. Also, would anybody be interested in seeing, see this crocodile is broken. Look at this part is, this side is completely stuck, so it won't even go back in anymore. So thankfully I have another one that I can use, but I need another crocodile. Anyway, this one's really old too. So I think I'm just going to put some little eyelets in the corners of this. Um, what was I saying? So, would any of you guys be interested in seeing some watercolor, like, swatching videos? Because I got some new watercolors and I thought it would be kind of fun to swatch out the colors, swatch them out. And the reason that I think it would be cool is because they're really nice watercolors. They're handmade watercolors from Italy. And yeah, so I don't know. Is that something that you guys think might be kind of fun? I know I used to do a lot more of that kind of stuff on live streams when I first started my channel. But I haven't done much in the way of like mixed media or anything like that for quite a while. So just curious, would you guys like to see some playing around with watercolors and stuff? I'm not like, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of them lately, and I'm not one of those like people that's like super into like the pigment names or the pigment numbers and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm not that knowledgeable about it, and I'm just really kind of getting started with watercolors. So I don't know, are you guys interested in kind of coming along on that journey with me and see what we can do? Okay, so I just like having those eyelets in the corners. I mean, my brain is telling me that I need to add something to them, but they don't really need anything. I think they just look kind of neat like that, you know? So now it's a matter of attaching this to there. And to be honest, art glitter glue is going to be the best thing because it's just, it's really strong glue, and I trust it. But I'm gonna use it kind of heavy. I suppose hot glue would work too. Hot glue would work pretty well if you use it sort of heavy. Um, so notice I didn't put glue where my eyelets are. Um, I want to stitch around this though. Dang it. I think I can still do it, but oops, and it's a little bit crooked. Uh, a tiny bit crooked. Hold on. There. Okay, press it down. And that's the nice thing about art glitter glue too, is it just grabs like now, you know. And then I thought it would be kind of nice to, I already kind of picked out a label to add on here, to just add a label because we all like labels, right? And this way, if anybody wants to, sort of title their, I mean, obviously there's writing on there, but somebody creative somebody could creatively still add their own, like, title on there. So I just think that's basically what I wanted for these journals. um I, like I said, might add a pocket on the back too. um but that's, you if you're going to make some of these kind of things, then I just kind of wanted to show you the basics and talk to you a little bit about the construction of them because I think that's what most people want anyway. Okay, so then I am going to do some stitching around the border of this. Um, but I think I just don't want to do that on camera because I think it's kind of cumbersome. Well, maybe I should because, like I said, I put that I put those eyelets and stuff in there, and I want to make sure you guys can see when I make a mistake that I can kind of work around it. Anyway, so I've got my machine, and basically what I'm going to be doing is just kind of jumping over some of it, I think. It might actually. fit in there though. So what I'm concerned about is the space here. You know, if I'm going to be able to stitch across the bottom, but I think it'll work. I think it's actually going to work. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to just do a straight stitch on the bottom here, though I'm not going to try to do a zigzag. So here we go. Yep, it'll work just fine. Okay, and then I'm going to stitch up this side. And then I'm going to switch to a zigzag. And one of the reasons that I love this sewing machine is that it's so easy to switch back and forth from a straight stitch to a zigzag. Just have to make sure your needle is in the up position when you do that. All right. Okay, so that's that. Relatively quick and painless. Okay, let me put my lid on my glue. So if I'm going to do a pocket on the back, I was thinking, you know, I haven't really decided yet what I want to do, but I definitely don't want to do that. I was thinking I could do one of these, or even just a library pocket. I guess I didn't really need to put that on there if I'm going to use a library pocket, but that, or I mean, there's a gazillion options, right? I could do that. I could do something like that. Like put this little guy right there inside there. So you'd have like 1, 2 pockets or something. You know, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but you'll find out when I finish these journals, I guess, if you're following along. Okay. So see, that is not coming off. This lady, she is not coming off. And I might do some other things on these, like add some other little layered, like little tickets or little pieces of ephemera or something like that. But this is just kind of basic, right? Okay, so I need to use my other crocodile that has a bigger, actually, I think that will fit through there. So this is these are the larger, these are 10 millimeter hitch posts. And I think what they call them are on Amazon. I can't remember what they call them on Amazon, but they don't call them hitch posts. They call them something else. And but I'll put a link in the description to the exact listing where I buy mine. And they come in like 4 different sizes. So anyway, but you need to make sure that the screw part, oh, it's called a Chicago screw is what it's called. That screw will fit through your hole, and you want to use the smallest size hole possible because that means that it won't wiggle around very much. Anyway, so I'm going to put this set in just a little ways, maybe about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, let's see if my screw fits through there. So it's too small. So the hole's too small. So I need to use the larger one. Need to use the larger punch. And this is why I need to be able to see through. You gotta be able to see through the hole. Anyway, how you guys doing? Okay. So I've been watching this lady on YouTube. Her name is Natasha Newton. and she's a watercolor mixed media. She does a lot of like acrylic and gouache and that kind of stuff. And she just is amazing. Like, um, I'll link her channel in the description so you guys can go check out her videos. But if you like color and art and nature and somebody with a lovely English accent and somebody who's just laid back and really fun to watch, really enjoyable, check out her channel. So anyway, okay, so you put the screw in from the back, and then this part just screws on there. Sometimes I'll add something like under that to make it kind of more decorative, but and then you definitely need a screwdriver to get this real tight. There we go. And it's a Phillips head. Okay. So we've got our little hitch posts on there. Now I need to attach the elastic on the other side. So I am going to use, I think I'm going to use the larger hole. Here we go. So I'm going to use these eyelets. These are not, we are memory keepers, but they're going to work. They're like, I think 3/8 inch. So I'm going to do two eyelets. So one, I'm trying to do them like kind of in line with my hitch post there. So since I'm doing two, one needs to be slightly to the right of the hitch post and the other one slightly to the left. Okay. So one, two. And then let's see, I'm trying to do more kind of like neutral colors. These eyelets are ever so slightly larger than, dang it. When you're using them with paper, like just regular paper, they work pretty well. And you don't have to really fight with them. But but this heavier card, it's harder to get the hole, to get them through the hole, especially since I've got that little bit of fabric there too. Okay, oh, I got it. So you just kind of have to fight with it a little bit to get it to go through the hole. I'm going to push it down using my awl a little bit. The We Are Memory Keepers eyelets, not a problem. Like they go into the hole that you punch with a crocodile really easily. But you know, I use a lot of eyelets and they're kind of pricey. Like the We Are Memory Keepers ones are sort of pricey. So like, I don't know. And I think they do that on purpose or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just kind of forcing these eyelets to go through these holes. Really fighting it at the moment, just really having an argument with it. Okay, so it's in, it's through. Now I'm going to smash them. And then they're on forever. Okay. Oh my God. That was a lot of work. Okay. So I got my hitch post, I got my eyelets in, and then the last thing is just adding the elastic. and I need to figure out how much elastic to use. Now, this is heavier elastic. I think this is 2 millimeter. Um, so basically, I want this to come, okay, without stretching it. I want this to come. Now I'm going to tie a knot in this, so I need to make sure that, so I'm measuring from these eyelets to here around the back. Now there's going to be a knot and it's going to be doubled. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but so I'm actually measuring to here because I do want a little piece at the end. So I'm measuring from there to there, and then I'm just going to double that. I don't know if that made any sense. Also, I just got these scissors. They're super nice. These are the Karen Buckley, I think it's Karen K. Buckley Perfect Scissors. And they're very similar to the Tim Holtz scissors. They like got the micro serration. Um, but these are I like the handles, and they're a little bigger than the haberdashery scissors, and they have that micro serration. So that's kind of why I like them anyway. And they are really nice for fussy cutting. Okay, so I put the elastic through both holes. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to go around the back, and then it's got to be, my knot needs to be just on the other side of that. So, and I don't want to stretch this too much. And I don't want to have to stretch it too much to get it to attach, because there's going to be a bunch of stuff in there, you know? So anyway, so just like that. I mean, if you're doing it, you just have to play around with how long you want your elastic, basically. I like to have a little bit extra because I kind of like the way it looks. And also I like people to be able to have a little bit of extra elastic if they need to extend this a little bit more. Like say they really pack a lot of stuff in here and they need to make it a little longer, they can do that. Okay. So that just holds it together, and that's really, the basic idea. Okay. Again, this is not my idea. Like this whole thing is not my idea. I actually saw it first from Carla, who saw it on another YouTube channel that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, but that's how it works on YouTube, right? One person has an idea that nobody's seen, and so, then it just kind of goes on like that. So it's one of those things. I mean, I kind of had something like that happen way back when I started making clusters, it was kind of like, and people felt obligated that they needed to say, well, Jessica kind of came up with this idea, but I probably saw it somewhere else too. So anyway, it's just like that. So, I get it. Like other people have done this, and, it's not my idea, but this is how I put it together, and this is how I'm making it work for my style of journals. I wanted to say that you can also just, if you don't like that being loose like that, you can kind of, just flip it, put the elastic through that little loop there, and that makes it a little bit more stable so that it doesn't, so that the knot doesn't move around. You could even tie it in a knot right there. You could even tie it in a knot right here if you wanted to, so that it would never move. And that way your knot is always going to be right in line with your, let me show you why I'm telling you this so that it makes sense. So like sometimes pull, if you pull it to one side or the other, like the knot gets lost. Like if you want the knot to always be at the end there, then I would recommend just kind of slipping it through there like that. And that way, you won't be fighting with it. Anyway, so that's the deal. I thought it might be kind of cool to put book corners on these too. So I don't know if I'll do that, or I might add book corners on the journal itself. But who knows where this could go. It could just I could just go crazy. Anyway, so let me know about what you guys think about doing some watercolor paint, kind of just looking at paints and different colors and things like that. Like if that's something you're interested in. I have some really good watercolor paper and that kind of stuff, and some good brushes that I wanted to play around with, that I just got. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. And also, I don't want anybody to think, that this is suddenly turned into a watercolor channel or a crocheting channel or something. But yeah, and then about the glue, like, you guys want me to do a video to tell you about glue? I don't know. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm going to be working on these for the next couple days. I think I should probably have them finished. I would say, what's today, Monday? I should probably have them finished by Friday. So anyway, maybe sooner. Who knows? Could be tomorrow. You never know. All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, just do it. Like, it's easy. Just click the button and then hit the notification thing and give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up on the video. It helps for your videos to come up in like suggested videos for other people uh, quicker, like easier, So other people that like this kind of video, if you put a thumbs up, then it might come up for someone else as a suggested video. That's what I mean. Okay. Love you guys. Okay. Bye for now.